The fact that this is where we're at, where this kid can't even cry at a video of someone getting shot in the neck without getting like literally canceled for that is pretty insane. I mean, obviously that's a one-sided issue. Like, you wouldn't get canceled for doing that had that not been the audience that you've cultivated. But simultaneously, I don't think he knew he cultivated that audience. So I do feel bad. Like, normally I'd say, you don't want to get canceled, then don't pander to a bunch of liberals who will cancel you. But I don't even fucking think the liberals thought that they were pandering to people who would cancel you if you said this was bad, right? I honestly feel for him on this one, you know? Let's take a look at this. The left's spectacular downfall. Now, the left has been progressively doing things that are not good, and that seems not good. So let's take a look at how people are responding to this. A lot of people I've noticed that I are familiar with, both in person and online, are silently, because this is a big thing. You'll get literally criticized by many people if you say this publicly, so they're doing this privately. They're saying, yeah, you know, I can't be among these people. People who are supporting violence and they are celebrating the death of either Charlie Kirk or justifying violence against any person who they disagree with are people who are frankly, they're animals, and I can't be near them, I can't associate with them, and even if I may agree with certain things they do, at the end of the day, we're differing on very basic principles, like you can't shoot somebody in the head. So,
a man trampled the memorial for Charlie Kirk at the Turning Point headquarters in Phoenix.
The pronouns were.
That it is not wrong or unethical.
What did he say? Pronouns was/were?
Pronouns were.
Yeah, bro, put a shirt on. You feel me? Like, again, I hate when dudes who have a body not worth showing off decide to take off their shirt like we're staring at a Picasso painting. Put that shit, bro, put away the guy nose, you know? Hey, I don't have the nicest body, but you don't see me out here showing the milk cannons.
That it is not.
And he said pronouns was/were. You know what's ironic? You know the whole thing? He's making fun of Charlie Kirk, right? Because Charlie Kirk was honing in on the trans issue and saying that you can't choose your pronouns. So he is joking at something Charlie Kirk believed in after he died. But the reality is, the people who say was/were the most are people who make fun of transgenders who take their own lives. So you unironically used one of the most right-wing talking points. Fucking toolbag.
The pronouns were.
That it is not.
And also, what could this be? Is this guy like a rapper or something? Why do rap, like, okay, whatever.
Wrong or unethical or unkind to laugh at the misfortunes of terrible people.
He's dead, y'all. Thank God.
Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, you piece of shit.
Yo, homie dead. Look at that. Homie dead. He got shot in.
Future doctors, engineers, scientists right here, guys. I mean, what else is there to say? If you don't think this person right here will be the next generation's hope, discovering some sort of mRNA technology that will cure cancer, then you're probably racist. You are racist. I hate you.
You support a shooter?
Yep, sure do.
Honor.
Some fat retard talking like he's tough.
Homie dead. He got shot in the head.
You support a shooter?
Yep, sure do.
Yeah, I sure do.
Honor the slain CEO of Turning Point USA. But late Saturday night, vandals lit the display on fire.
Analysis showing Democrats are losing millions of registered voters across our country while Republicans have a net gain.
I mean, this is the part of the reason why Trump won, was when people realized that that violence was being enacted against him. Obviously, that makes people reconsider everything, because they have to consider if the violence was worth it. And when they consider if something is worth it, they have to go and sort of like look at everything in like totality, right? And so they might reassess why they even disagree with him on certain issues to begin with, right? And then that's obviously part of what swayed people.
I am done with the Democratic Party. You guys are psychotic.
What's wrong with you? I mean, what is wrong with you? That you can celebrate someone's death.
It's almost like being radical nutjob people is not a winning position.
Well, it's like they don't care, though. Like, the problem is they don't care that there are radical nut jobs, right? Like, this is part of the whole thing, is that when you're so far gone, at the end of the day, it's like you don't really care, you know?
Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back.
Like, the issue is calling them that, calling them radical nut jobs. Like, do they hear that and they're like, whoa, wait, you're right, I should stop. Like, no, they don't.
To hell. Just a quick reminder that if you like tea and you like discounts, I am running a 50% off on
that's great. I drink Monster Energy.
Very Klein. The trans movement, the LGBT movement with the Q plus squiggly do if you're in Canada, because apparently they include what, Two-Spirit Is that it? Two-spirit?
US LGBTQI+
Gender
No, yeah, it's two-spirit. That's the one that I identify most with. I got two spirits.
ideology, people looking like absolute freaks all of the time. But what I think has become clear, particularly over the last number of weeks, but this has probably been happening for months, is that the left's stranglehold, this grip that it has had on institutions, on organizations, on movements, on politicians, and so on and so forth, is coming to a very unceremonious end.
Yeah, people don't care anymore because part of, I think, the social capital they hold is, wielding power that can sort of reprimand and punish you for misbehaving. And they don't have that anymore. And that I think this started a long time ago, but you can trace it to some key moments. Like, for instance, Elon buying Twitter, not banning people for saying things, using certain words. When you open up free speech, people naturally shift rightward because I think the natural shift rightward is just a literal, like, it's a reality of what people think. They're just allowed to say it, right? And when people are allowed to say what they want and people end up agreeing with it, that movement grows. So it's sort of like now there's a level playing field and right-wing ideas are winning, and ideas that aren't even right-wing, but sort of like not caring about woke shit and not self-censoring, using words that may have thrived in the 2008 Xbox Call of Duty live chat parties. All of these things are thriving now, right? And this just simply has to do with the fact that there's no limits, no censors, and I think that's a good thing.
They have more or less brought it on themselves. Are you surprised? Probably not really. This is going to be shocking to a lot of progressives, but it turns out your average person just wants to be left alone.
Yeah.
We're also incredibly put off by people celebrating murder, so there's that too. Since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, the response from many, many, many people who identify as being on the left has been nothing short of disgusting. Painting over memorials, kicking over memorials, fighting mourners, protesting his official memorial in Arizona, celebrating loudly and proudly online, even calling for more violence and saying that this is only the beginning. Jai.
Realistically, though, and I have to say this, like, if you ever were to listen to a single word that this person says, I feel like you're the kind of person that when your mom asked you, if your friend walked off a cliff, would you follow them? You would say yes, you know? Like, remember when our parents used to say that to try to tell us not to follow other people if they're doing dumb shit and be free thinkers? If you listen to this person, you literally are not a free thinking person. Like, you're a droid. You can be programmed.
Hate it here.
One of the ways I am
the fuck?
surviving this political moment is making lists of who I'm gonna celebrate when they... Historically, people have celebrated when their oppressor.
Do you support his death?
I do.
You support his death?
Fuck Charlie Kirk.
You support Charlie Kirk being killed?
Yes, I do.
On the day he died, you're here at a vigil for Charlie Kirk and you support his death.
Do you support a Nazi?
No, I don't support
Bruh.
Nazi. Charlie Kirk wasn't a Nazi.
Do you support a fucking treadmill? Is he wearing a T-Mobile hat? Bro, like, how are you a real human being? T-Mobile was handing these out, and now you're a walking billboard. I don't want to hear it. Like, literally, he copped the T-Mobile bucket hat. Hey, bro, what that drip on? T-Mobile? Yeah, what about it? This shit going on Depop later.
You support his shooter?
I want to, who wants to take a guess what, oh, it says I heart emo bitches. I could only see the I heart on his shirt, and I just assumed below it said cock.
Yep, sure do.
Or food.
So Michael and his family created a memorial
I think cock and food combined, the best one would be a hot dog.
along their fence to honor the slain CEO of Turning Point USA. But late Saturday night, vandals lit the display on fire.
When they burnt that fence, that fire could have went into that house and it could have really harmed somebody.
The vandals also broke the back window of the family's SUV.
People have mocked Charlie's widow, Erica.
Wow. I mean, like, realistically, bro, people don't want to, like, here's the issue. When you make jokes about Charlie Kirk's death, you have to understand that is totally different than celebrating the death, right? Because you can joke about something, you can use irony. Obviously, it's, you know, distasteful and whatever, but I laugh at distasteful stuff all the time. So I'm not going to, you know, joke police what people can say. You can joke about Charlie Kirk if you want. You can joke about whatever it is. I'm not going to stop you. I think there's a difference. I think there's a clear difference. You can tell when someone's joking about something because they're like retarded edgelords versus when somebody is supporting the actual thing that took place. And a lot of people were pretty openly celebrating what happened to Charlie Kirk. And you know that there's a difference because the people who celebrate it would do shit like this, whereas the people who joke about it, who, like, you know, made AI videos of Charlie Kirk fighting George Droid, wouldn't do this.
So broke the back window of the family's SUV.
People have mocked Charlie's widow, Erica Kirk.
He was my husband. And I loved him. And he loved me almost as much as he loved America. And
holy shit, wait, I thought this was just a normal white person for a second. Then I realized this is someone whose mind has been stolen from them and thrown into the microwave. Jesus, dude. So you're spending your free time cosplaying the guy who just got shot in the neck's wife? This is insane.
I want to thank all of the brave, heroic first responders.
Yeah, bitch. So, you truly do need to get back in the kitchen, honest to God. What are you doing?
Who responded heroically.
Oh my God, what a leech. What a societal leech. You know, when you eventually injure yourself, the first responders will be the same people you call. Like, she's saying the first responders in a sarcastic, mocking tone, but it's like, you don't understand first responders. You're talking about like ambulance drivers and EMT. What the fuck did EMT people do wrong? People who are going to give you, who are going to give you IV drip and like keep you alive?
Heroically.
What?
I'm not gonna lie, I think I have a pretty good sense of humor. I can see the jokes in most things, but you kind of have to be a giant piece of shit to do something like this. Oh, why does everybody want to leave the left? I don't know, maybe because you guys act demonic on the internet for snaps and clicks. They have called for his children to be murdered too, or said that they don't feel bad that his kids will grow up without a dad.
Yeah, bro, people got mad at me for saying these people should lose their jobs. And again, like the irony is so funny because when you can't see a clear relationship between supporting and cheering on violence and more violence taking place, you're a fucking idiot.
Hey, so Charlie Kirk just got shot. Maybe there are good guys with guns out there.
Update. Charlie Kirk is officially looking up at us, and I'm about to head to the grocery store because I'm making ribs tonight. Oh, but he was a man with a wife and kids. Yeah, and now they're safe from him.
You know, the thing that absolutely sends me to...
Yeah, bro. How do I say this, bro? You can say that his children are safe now, which is a demented thing to say, but I don't think any child that you encounter is ever truly safe. Let's just say I would bet some money that you're on a watch list, a predator watch list, or in about 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, you might be touching people of the ages of 6 or 7.
The wife and kids. Yeah, and now they're safe from him.
You know,
I'm mainly in Democrat spaces, and it was pretty eye-opening seeing their response to Charlie. Bro, Kevin, I understand that. Like, that makes a lot of sense. You don't think I have liberal ideas? Like, my opinion on abortion has changed a lot. Like, I don't think that, like, Plan B is that crazy or that evil, and I'm always open to have my mind changed. I'm always looking to have my, opinions grow and change, as I think everybody should. There's a certain puzzle that we have that is made up of social components. I do think that, we're beginning to realize that a lot of these puzzle pieces don't quite fit. Like, you can't have a puzzle piece that is just a direct support of violence and political extremism that manifests in shootings that result in children dying or innocent people dying. Like, no matter what way you think the society should look like, there's just no place for it whatsoever at all.
The thing that absolutely sends me to Jupiter about
personally, I think Plan B is murder. Well, I mean, obviously, that's your opinion and you're free to have it. And maybe I could be, my mind could be changed or convinced, but I don't think so. But again, like, the whole point is, like, you would not, if I were to set up a debate me booth on a college campus that had the sign that says, I don't think Plan B is murder on it, shoot me in the head, right? And then you wouldn't go and tell all your friends to support what happened to me and then to sort of, make this go on and on all over social media, which is the main difference.
This kind of people is that this guy delivering this last line, he's doing it like this because he wants all the people on the internet to show up and clap for him.
Yeah.
To say that they agree. And he did such a good job articulating himself in his car. I don't know how to explain this, and it could just be a Sydney thing, and I'm okay if it is, but I really find men, in particular, celebrating the death of fathers to be deeply unmasculine behavior.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? I mean, when you have a guy who is probably 30 years old plus sitting in a car with a Dragon Ball Z shirt on with literally maybe some of the soyest, most patchy facial hair you can possibly see. His name is Socialist Mac Miller on TikTok. His future prospects involve picking his belly button hair later and trying to crochet his ball hairs and digging in his butt later. It's not crazy to understand why this guy wouldn't understand the unique value value in raising children and being a good father figure, right? To him, it's probably just another person, just another, you know, sort of replaceable component in the human population, when I'm of the believer that certain people are more valuable than others based on what they accomplish and what they achieve. I don't think the life of a murderer is the same or has the same inherent value as the life of a loving father who's raising children. And I think that's fairly obvious, right? But again, you have people who, like socialism, think that all things are equal, right? I think that's pretty obvious. They do believe that everybody is made the exact same regardless. They don't take the content of character into question. Really, like, they'll defend murderers, they'll defend pieces of shit, as long as they're sort of in their preferable minority group, right? Minority group.
Yeah, and now they're safe from him.
You know, the thing that absolutely sends me to Jupiter about these kind of people is that this guy delivering this last line, you know he's doing it like this because he wants all the people on the internet to show up and clap for him, to say that they agree, and he did such a good job articulating himself in his car. I don't know how to explain this, and it could just be a Sydney thing, and I'm okay if it is, but I really find men, in particular, celebrating the death of fathers to be deeply non-masculine behavior. Because what do you mean? Like, why would you be happy about this? It is uniquely psychotic to want kids to be fatherless. Like, that's so bizarre. Nothing should be able to shock me these days, given all the things I've seen, but I'm still shocked.
Right.
These people are icky. But you know what's also a little icky?
If this is an ad read transition, that's crazy.
Having a bad smoke-related habit.
Yeah, okay, bro, that's insane.
And really, this was only the beginning, because in the midst of all of this, a man shot up an ABC-affiliated news station in Sacramento, California, angry about the Trump administration and Jimmy Kimmel being pulled off air.
Imagine shooting up an ABC because you're mad Jimmy Kimmel got taken off air. I have no idea what happened here. That's just a quick, like, imagine, you know? That might not even be what happened, okay? Never heard of this just until now. If you take violent action because Jimmy Kimmel gets off air, you literally are destined for nothing. You're destined to couch surf for the rest of your life, bro. I said this before, but if, like, the highlight of your evening, or if you know by heart what time Jimmy Kimmel comes on TV, you like, I don't know how to say this, man. Like, you're the kind of person that, like, advertising is designed for. Like, you're meant to just be advertised to. Like, you're meant to, you know, start foaming out the mouth when Skittles collaborates with Fortnite to make, like, little Fortnite Skittles or something. Like, you're not even a human, in my opinion. You're like a statistic in the quarterly earnings for how effective ad reaching is, you know? It's like you're just not a person at all.
Another man angry about deportations and, in his own words, wanting to terrorize ICE agents, shot up an ICE facility in Dallas, although he only managed to exclusively hit illegals instead.
I saw this, yeah.
Similarly
what a
to
fucking retard.
Other recent domestic terrorists, he also wrote far-left messages on his bullets.
Right.
The Atlantic released findings in late September 2025 that said not only is left-wing terrorism on the rise, but for the first time in a long time, it far outweighs attacks from the right. But this obviously hasn't stopped politicians, talking heads, and celebrities turning up and saying that Charlie's death was justified or not an issue.
I am not going to sit here and be judged for not wanting to honor any legacy this man has left behind. That should be in the dustbin of history, and we should hopefully move on and forget the hate that he spewed every single day.
Oh, interesting. So, who is this? Is this like a podcaster? Rep Omar responds to criticism over her. Rep Omar? Wait a second. Rep Omar. United States. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. She's a U.S. representative for Minnesota's 5th Congressional District. Oh, wow. And she was born in Somalia? She's born in Somalia. Oh. Born in Somalia? That's funny.
We should hopefully move on and forget the hate that he spewed every single day.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk got shot and he's RIP. Whatever you want RIP to stand for. Some people will say it's not peace, so fill in the blanks, people. Fill in the blanks.
Yes, this is an Australian politician. No, I don't know how she got elected, and she thinks she's being cute here by alluding to the term rest in piss. There's nothing I can say to this because everything I want to say is hate speech. Anyway, I guess watching this new level of insanity and depravity shifted something in a bunch of people. I think for most of us who already existed somewhere on the right, this has strengthened our relationship.
Oh, for sure. Like, when you see that people who share the same views as, like, your dad, brother, or like, someone who you're friends with, you know, very mild political right-wing views, like, Charlie Kirk's views, for the most part, were not even that extreme. Like, when you look at the online right today as it exists, you have thought leaders and influencers, you know, and streamers. You got, like, Nick Fuentes. This guy is absolutely huge, and he says things that make Charlie Kirk look like a leftist, right? He's much farther right on things like immigration, almost any social issue you can name, he's farther right than Charlie Kirk on. And when you look at Charlie Kirk as somebody who, in comparison, is less right-wing, less extreme, and he got killed for it, it really makes you take a step back and wonder where the people who killed him are at mentally, and if you should shift rightward accordingly to sort of cancel out where they are on the left. And, you know, people have this sort of, like, I think there's like this whole movement that we have to tone down the rhetoric in the US right now, like, because things are getting violent and tensions are rising. But I think the issue is that when you are saying to turn down the temperature, I think what in actuality you're asking for is for people to kind of like shut up and get over it regarding the death of somebody who just spoke at college campuses, right? So yeah. Did Nick say the soft A or hard R? Meanwhile, Charlie hasn't. Yeah, exactly. Well, like, Nick, like, he frequently says, like, N-word, hard R, you know, soft A, which I actually, like, really don't care about. Like, that's not even, like, politics in my opinion. Like, I have friends on the left who just rip that shit because they, like, play video games. Like, that doesn't really mean anything. But you know, Charlie, I don't think has said it, like, at all. And if he has, then he has. But you know, he probably wouldn't say it. You know, he probably hasn't said it in recent year or whatever. So.
To our existing ideals and brought a lot of us closer together. It has reinvigorated some people to get in touch with their religious roots, but
that's
I
also
think
true. I've
by
seen
and
that.
large,
Yeah,
it has really brought forward a solidarity between like-minded people.
Yeah,
but I think for a bunch of people on the left, it has shown them that there is no reconciling with the terrorist movement that progressivism has become. And it's either shown them that and pushed them over the edge completely, or they are starting to realize what their side looks like. It has shown that their side, quote unquote, has some serious issues with violence, and they simply cannot and do not align with those around them or the people in their circles any longer.
Well, isn't it so interesting how when you're calling somebody a Nazi or a racist, the fear of being labeled that is people will perceive you as violent, when in actuality, it's the people who will call you these names who are actually the most violent, right? It's sort of strange. Like, Nazis are bad because they've murdered and killed. And, you know, racists are bad because the extreme of that is trying to ethnically cleanse areas and lynch people and like stuff like that. What the reality is you end up seeing that's not actually happening. And instead what you have is people, vigilante, radical, like Antifa style people doing the violence that they claim people who they label as racist or fascist will end up doing. Isn't that strange? Like, it's so strange.
And honestly, I do not blame them whatsoever for feeling this way. If you hop over to TikTok, and ordinarily I would never tell you guys to go over there, I do feel like Mufasa being like, you must never go there. But in this case, I think it could be instrumental and useful, because if you do go and look on TikTok, you will see that there are a bunch of people who call themselves liberal or leftist making videos discussing how disgusted and saddened they are by the left's reaction in particular to Charlie Kirk's murder.
Sure.
My God. I've been a Democrat all my life. All my family been a Democrat all their life. And this BS shit with Charlie Kirk and everybody acting stupid and don't care about this man life and his family life, I'm done with you motherfuckers.
The Charlie Kirk thing kind of put the nail in the coffin of me being a Democrat. I was slowly moving away from it anyway because I was noticing certain things, but I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican either, but I'm not a Democrat. And
yeah, well, I think in general, like, I think being, like, pledging allegiance to a party and being registered under that party's name and finding some sort of, like, you know, true identity within a political party is silly. I think your identity should be sort of within the ideas that you believe and the values that you hold, like, independent of any label. So yeah, I mean, I don't think that's even like a centrist take. I just think like the actual like political institutions themselves, it's hard to really have one that truly represents all of your interests. And so you should just sort of stand for yourself. And whenever it's time to vote, find something that aligns closest with what you believe in, because, you know, you're never going to get 100%. But I would say that when people say that like I'm a Republican or a Democrat, like in my opinion, I feel like I just don't believe in either of that. Like I just don't feel as if a party can truly be something something that I support as like, you know, they're both corrupt as fuck. Like they're both funded by big interest groups and lobbying, and like you're never gonna truly get I feel like real reform or change. I don't know maybe I'm just naive and stupid, and the country has changed a lot, but I don't know, it'd be interesting if like someone really good was president or something.
Just notice like certain things, like the way that the conversation would be shut down by calling somebody a name or calling somebody a bigot. It's like, okay, and why am I a bigot just because I disagree with you? Like I can disagree with you and still not want anything bad for you. I started to see how like it's one thing to believe in something, it's another thing to tell somebody they're bad if they don't, especially if the view is wacky, crazy, and all the way out there.
It really sucks that it took this tragedy for me to get to this point. But because of this tragedy, I'm starting to see the Democrats' true colors. And I was already pretty over it. Their behavior is extremely immature. It's really hateful. And I just wasn't seeing how that was productive in any way. Change doesn't happen in an echo chamber, so I don't know how they expect anything to change if they're yelling and screaming at people. Yet they're a party that wants all of this change. But if they can't communicate with anybody, then...
Well, no, you've seen how they've tried to get change. Like, they'll kill you, you know? Like, literally, again, I've made this point before, but the guy who was actually trying to change people's minds got shot in the neck. So what we're actually seeing is, you know, people have given up on trying to enact change through voting and stuff like that. And, you know, you'll find, like, the kid who murdered Charlie Kirk was obviously some guy who took personal issues with his views on social stuff, so he killed him for it, right? And so that's how he felt it would be appropriate to get change. You know, it's not like you're not going to go and debate Charlie Kirk. Like, they've moved past that, clearly, right?
As a registered Democrat, all I have to say is the Charlie Kirk shooting just proves that we are the worst, man. My party is worse. I got people celebrating, hoping that he dies. Where's the empathy? Where's the respect, man? It's disgusting.
Many of the people discussing this recently have said that they feel utterly disgusted by the left's overall response to Charlie's death, finding it completely contrary to their own values. And this isn't only the people making the videos. Countless people are in the comments expressing similar ideas and sentiments. Even big left-wing figures like
I did see this. I saw that he was crying after this, and that's like obvious, right? Like, you see someone die, you see someone get shot in the neck who you've shook hands with, and although you disagree with the way they want to, you know, improve the world or their political views, it's human nature to be upset when someone who you've met or, you know, you've had a conversation with gets shot and you've seen a video of it, right? And then he went on to justify to the people who were mad at him for crying that he like was only sad for this reason and that reason, not because he liked him, which is like the fact that this is where we're at, where this kid can't even cry at a video of someone getting shot in the neck without getting like literally canceled for that is pretty insane. I mean, obviously, that's a one-sided issue. Like, you wouldn't get canceled for doing that had that not been the audience that you've cultivated. But simultaneously, I don't think he knew he cultivated that audience. So I do feel bad. Like, normally I'd say, oh, yeah, man, like, you don't want to get canceled, then don't pander to a bunch of liberals who will cancel you. But I don't even fucking think the liberals thought that they were pandering to people who would cancel you if you said this was bad, right? So that's that. I honestly feel for him on this one, you know? Like, he was the one to go up and debate Charlie Kirk on Jubilee. So he probably thought that the people who he would have to start, you know, viewing his content, the new fans that he had, would be like, oh yeah, we want to see you debate Charlie Kirk more. We want to see you debate people on the right more. He probably didn't think they'd be people who were like, nah, actually it'd be better if you were the one doing it with a gun or whatever. Like, that's kind of insane, huh? Nah, fuck him. He was acting like he was sad for Charlie, but mocking him in his Discord at the same time. Is that true? I haven't seen that. That is crazy. I haven't seen that.
And Ethan Klein became extremely emotional upon finding out that Charlie had passed. And actually, Dean had to walk back his crying because people called him out for it, because that's normal. I mean, at some point, you really do have to look at your audience and figure out what the hell you've cultivated.
No, yeah, I mean, this was the point that I was making, but I don't think it's his fault.
If the people who are following you are checking you because you're having a human,
but maybe it is. Maybe there was more.
Response to
Nux and Pegasus both showcase it in the video. I can't remember the exact one, but it shows the timestamp for when he was streaming and what Discord messages were sent. I'll have to look into it, but that's insane if that's true. So if that is true, then fuck him.
A father and a guy being murdered in front of thousands of people because he was having conversations.
Right.
Being held hostage by people in this way is not a good thing. This is why our relationship works so well, because I am the mama bird here and I do the vomiting into your little baby bird mouths, and then you guys are like, Sydney, stop being weird. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. Even Jeffree Star, of all people, and some of you in my audience won't know who this is, but he is very, very big in the makeup space. He spoke to his enormous audience recently and called out the left's absolute insanity, going after the they-thems and those celebrating Charlie's murder.
Okay, this is a grown man.
Yeah, bro, let's not with that volume, please.
Who fought for the truth, who went all around our country debating people of all walks of life, walks of religion, walks of sexuality. He debated everybody.
You know what's crazy is he gets called a pick-me for saying the shit. You know, it's like the same LGBTQ crowd. Like, they'll literally say, oh, yeah, you want to support Charlie Kirk? Well, you know, if you approached him, he'd call you the F-slur. Or if you want to pander to conservatives, they'll hate you, bro. They'll call you the F-slur. It's like, I don't think he'd care if they call you the F-slur. Like, I would judge this guy based on how he looks, right? And if I were to ever have a conversation with him, the judgment would change. So it would be something that I hear what he has to say, and then I'm like, oh, okay, he's not insane. I would judge him for looking like this. I'd be like, oh, is this guy like a freak terrorist sort of looking person who like smokes Dubai chocolate and kills children? Like, maybe. But then I would speak with him and he would say, oh yeah, you know, I'm actually normal. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, right? So it's like the people who say, yeah, you know, go hang out with the conservatives that you want to pander to, they'll hate you. It's like, no, honestly, no. Honestly, I wouldn't, because yeah, I mean, I, at the end of the day, don't really care. I mean, maybe I'd say, like, I don't know about the hair or whatever, but I wouldn't do anything really past that.
And if you're in here saying it wasn't the truth, you are a they-them loser, okay? You are one of those people who doesn't want to live in reality. You want to live in your weird little...
You are a they-them loser. Someone, I want that as a reaction video.
Little brain up here.
Lots of these people.
That's when they flip the fucking tablet at Starbucks asking for a 50% tip. I have to look at the bitch who made my latte and be like, you are a they-them loser. No tip.
You want to live in your weird little brain up here.
Lots of these people do maintain plenty of liberal ideas, but they have zero interest in being grouped in with Democrats or the left any longer. As one woman captioned a TikTok, "Congrats, Democrats, you have turned a devout atheist Democrat into a God-fearing independent." And as another said, she's stepping out of the Democrat/Republican paradigm and really wants to pursue thinking for herself, which sounds, obvious to a lot of people, but I think this is a great way of thinking about politics and a great thing to do. And it takes a lot of courage to say that on the internet right now. But this position honestly seems to be a long time coming as far as waking up and leaving the left goes. Because once again, although there are an influx of people recently saying that they are done and the Charlie Kirk murder and everything surrounding it really changed their perspective, there are countless other people online too who've been making similar comments about the way that the left and Democrats behave for quite some time.
But honestly, if you want to know the truth, what really did it for me is realizing how freaking depressed I was when I was functioning as a liberal.
Well, I think how this works is very simple, right? You have people that use phrases like punch Nazis, and that sounds fine because a Nazi is a bad person who kills people. So you should punch people because killing people is worse than punching them, so they deserve the punching. The issue then comes when being a Nazi just means being racist. And then being racist just means saying that DEI is unfair. So now what you have is you can punch people who say DEI is unfair because they're a Nazi, and because they're a Nazi, you can kill them. So what we've now created is say anything, you deserve to be killed. And that's the issue, is that you can essentially take the smallest thing and then logic leap your way through Democrat talking points, through leftist talking points to you deserve to be killed. It's literally, it's a crazy thought experiment. You can take kind of any position, label it as something, take label, and then determine something from that, and then you can keep going until eventually you find a reason that a person should be killed, you know?
Liberalism will literally make you hate yourself. It will make you hate your family. It will make you hate your friends. It will make you hate everything about the world. And I'm not saying that you should just be ignorant to everything that is going on in the world, but the way that the left chooses to internalize everything that is going on in the world is detrimental to their mental health.
It's probably worth noting, and I think it's important, that a lot of these people are not saying that they're suddenly becoming conservative. That doesn't just happen overnight. But they are moving.
They've watered down the term Nazi. It's offensive to Jewish people. Well, it's offensive to Nazis as well. You don't think if the Nazis came back, they'd look at the guy who says the word retard and they want to be compared? Some fucking guy with a nose ring is like, yo, this shit's retarded. And the Nazi's like, you think we are the same? I want to kill Jews. He's just a fucking normal guy. They're probably offended as well.
More right from the left, if that makes sense. They're becoming moderates and centrists and independents, and honestly, I think that's a good thing. I think that anything that can instruct you to think for yourself and think independently is a good thing. Although the independent moderate thing is definitely how it starts, and soon you will join us! Also, ladies, when you realize that the men on our side of the fence are actual men who like to open car doors for you and will pay for your dinner, it's quite a nice thing to experience, let me tell you now. No more carrying your own groceries into your house, because they will, in fact, try to get every single bag out of the car in one trip. And if they can't, they act as if they have failed you or themselves. It's really unclear which. Anyway, but I have also seen plenty say that they've gone ahead and registered Republican too for the first time in their life.
Yeah, just not to dwell on it, but the whole carrying groceries out of the car thing, you know, let's just say I put a few bitches onto what's called Instacart, so we're not really, we're not doing that.
Lives. Now, what's really interesting here is that we've had other movements before that encourage people to walk away from the left and the Democratic Party, like 2018's Walk Away, for example. It encouraged Democrats to reject blind party loyalty and gain traction with viral testimonials from ex-Democrats frustrated by the party's shift towards extremism.
Right.
And that was 7 years ago, before things went absolutely insane.
I know.
But I do
think about it now.
Presently, something different is happening here. It feels different. And I think if we're...
You know, it's crazy. I'm probably too young for this hashtag walk away thing, so I don't remember it. But this probably at the time was just a bunch of people getting on campus and telling, like, college-age guys not to cut their dick off. Like, that's probably what this was. It was like, dude, it's getting crazy, bro. You gotta walk away. It's like, you need to not do that. You're gonna need that dick later. In about 5 years, you're gonna want to have it back if you cut it off. So, you know, trust me now. I got mine. It works great. You're gonna want yours. And he's like, oh, I didn't think about it like that. Okay. Probably saved a few lives, literally.
The party's shift towards extremism. And that was 7 years ago, before things went absolutely insane. But I do think presently something different is happening here.
Well, yeah, now it's not just, hey, don't cut your dick off. It's like, don't cut your dick off and your best friend's dick off. Become transgender lesbians that fuck every night. And when you're bored, kill right-wing podcasters. So it's a little different now.
Feels different. And I think if we're being honest, there is a lot of horror attached to people's reactions when they talk about leaving the left. They are horrified by the things that they're seeing. And although it is awful, I am actually really glad to see how many people are realizing how soulless and unhinged the modern left has become. Look, it might have taken some of you a little while to get here, but better late than never. These are the people who will cut you off for...
Just had an abortion in honor of Charlie Kirk. What's this?
Some of you a little while to get here, but better late than never. These are the people...
Just had an abortion in the... Are you in hell? Like, what's this background? Either this is a nice sunset and it just looks weird, or she's literally in hell.
People who will cut you off for not thinking as they do, who proudly announce this to the world.
You're chopped.
I feel like if you're quiet...
You're even more chopped.
When so many injustices are happening, not just here, but Palestine, Sudan, Congo, etc.
You look like a nerd's candy.
Then I literally blocked my brother yesterday. I'm not speaking to my mom, my stepmom, my dad. I'm collecting them like Pokemon. I'm like, who can I block next? Even Bill Maher. Collecting them like Pokemon.
What does this have to do with Teen Vogue? What the fuck? Bro, what? This looks like, I don't understand this. Also, speaking of Pokemon, you look like Pokemon 304 Snorlax.
I'm like, who can I block next?
Even Bill Maher.
Yeah, I mean, again, like Teen Vogue, you were a teen 10 years ago.
I'm collecting them like Pokemon.
It's Kirby cosplay? Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, who can I...
Oh, Muck? Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Block next.
Even Bill Maher, of all people,
Pokemon.
Recently acknowledged that the modern left is categorically insane.
The basic problem we have in America is conservatives think the liberals are insane, and they're not completely wrong. Now, I don't think most liberals are insane, but neither do they make it clear they disapprove of the ones who are. And their cowardice in not marginalizing their own crazies has been their downfall.
There are people who claim to love diversity, but have zero tolerance for
Oh, so she cut off her family because, let's see, they're MAGA, they're bigots, they don't respect boundaries. Also, they're doctor parents who refuse family therapy. Listen, how do I explain this to you? I don't think your family therapist would want you to cut your parents off, retard. Like literally what? Hey, because you don't want to go to therapy, I'm gonna cut you off. Like, that makes no sense. Like, isn't that like the entire... What? Your brain broken. They're MAGA and they're bigots and they don't respect boundaries. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this literally is like a complete nothing burger. Your dad is probably a normal fucking person who does normal things, and because you've been completely brainwashed and psyoped, you now hate him. Good job. That's awesome. And yeah, GG, I guess.
diversity of thought.
So, dude, like it's like that's not even a good reason. You know what I'm saying? It's like people cut off their family because it's like, oh yeah, my dad like molested me when I was younger, and he gaslit me about it for 10 years. I then realized what happened, had to cut him off. So that's that. Or like, yeah, I got my first job as a server. My dad would sneak into my room, steal my paycheck, and gamble the money, losing it every single time, which would leave me in severe debt and without a future ahead of me. He also then went into my college fund, put it all on black. As you know, black steals, so we lost it. It's like, dude, you don't have any good reason to cut off your fucking parents. These reasons suck. How about my dad shot a little boy in the head? Pew! All right, you can cut him off. These reasons suck. Even something that makes a little bit of sense, like, oh, my dad has he has a fucking poop fetish, and I saw him eating poop. I couldn't handle it. Fair enough. They're bigots. Oh yeah, my dad's a bigot. I couldn't talk to him. So am I! We're all fucking bigots, man. You cutting off your dad is more than he's ever done to racial groups. He's never cut off fucking blacks or Jews or Northern Italians.
Love diversity, but have zero tolerance for diversity of thought.
So I decided to go no contact.
Bro, like, who's not a bigot? You know what I'm saying? Isn't everybody a bigot? Like, you tell me you walk outside and you're like, oh, you are cool, you're cool, everybody's so awesome. No, I'm like, fuck you, die, you look, and you should get hit by a car, and you are just somebody who I don't want to look at. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand that. How are you not a bigot? Like, how are you looking outside and you just like love everybody all the time? Like, I'm full of anger, and I'm like, dude, like, oh my God, you know? Like, I'm one delayed Uber Eats order away from like fully going on like a straight up hunt to find illegal immigrants myself. You know what I mean? Okay, it's satire. I'm joking. I'm not a bigot. I do love everybody, but I won't lie to you. Like, I feel like the people who go so far in the opposite direction, it's like, don't you realize how stupid you are? Like, you think that people are bigots, and so you're gonna spite them by being like an antisocial sort of like frog creature?
With direct family members, specific direct family members.
My dad held a loaded shotgun at my face over a D on a progress report. Not even the damn report card. Still love that man. That's just not. Is that actually true? Your dad's just a fucking insane person.
Before and after the election.
They are the same people who preach love, empathy, and tolerance, but have spent 2 weeks dancing on someone's grave because he had different ideas to them. And I keep seeing...
By the way, bigoted, like, literally just means, like...
For the election.
They are the...
Bigoted means no thanks to this. When the barber shows you a photo of this and says, you want this, and you say no, that's what you are. You're a bigot.
Same people who preach love, empathy, and tolerance, but have spent 2 weeks dancing on someone's grave because he had different ideas to them. And I keep seeing this quote floating around that I think is honestly pretty accurate. The left has gone so far to the left that people have become right by standing still. And once again, I can very much see why liberals feel this way about their own side. Because when they so much as question some of the official narratives on their own side of things, when they express an opinion that slightly differs to what they're allowed to think, they are called traitors and attacked and name-called and shamed.
I guess I'm a conservative Republican now, even though I've never participated in an election in any sort and never planned on doing that. All I've done is made videos where I've criticized the left. I've criticized Democrats and the things that they do.
Yeah.
And they're all getting in my comment sections saying that I'm a conservative, I'm a Republican, or that I'm a coon.
Whoa.
I don't understand how that correlates at all. But if my viewpoints align with conservatives, and that makes you think that I'm a conservative, I guess that's what I'll be. I never planned on voting for Republicans, but it seems like the Democrats want me to do that.
Progressives have been overreaching.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh, man. That's a rough one.
For years now, with all sorts of issues, like the trans and gender ideology.
No. Come back. No. What the hell was that?
Progressives have been overreaching for years now, with all sorts of issues, like the trans and gender ideology.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. That's not good.
Movements being pushed onto children,
That's
which
gotta
is
go.
a very unpopular position among basically every
Pride is for kids, too.
children, which is
Wait,
a
is this
very
serious?
unpopular.
Oh, my... Yeah. When you say it's a very unpopular position, what that actually means is people legitimately think you should spend life in prison for doing this and be tried for crimes against humanity. And they're right!
Popular position among basically everyone. Men in women's sports, rising crime, illegal immigration, all issues that people actually feel very strongly towards and largely want stopped. The left's own radicalization of the
He's wearing a Bugs Bunny mask? Really, bro?
LGBTQIA community pushed plenty of gay and lesbian people out of the movement and into
Yeah.
the open arms of moderates and
Yeah.
the right wing.
Howdy, my name is Julie. I'm an adult human female. And I just want you to know that children do not belong at pride events. I, as a lesbian and an elder gay, and I'm here to let you know from the community that it is the most perverted, disgusting event ever. It is not what it was decades ago.
Categorically insane people being the speakerheads of movements, institutions, and social issues.
What am I looking at? Like, fully, I just feel like I'm completely numb to it. But, like, if we look at the cast of characters, we have two people here wearing a medical mask for some reason, which is just, take it off. Oxygen will not hurt you. I know you think it will. It won't. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I'd fucking wear a mask around these people too. They might have some like poop on their breath or something. You should avoid that. So they're actually the smartest ones here. They're playing 5D chess. Honestly, if you think about it, they could say, no, it's COVID, I'm afraid. Realistically, you're like, yeah, there's definitely some poop on these on some breath here. So they're playing 5D chess. You're like, I mean, I don't know what is going on. You're wearing a chocolate wrapper and there's just too much going on here. I don't know where you could be heading to where this is what you want to appear as, but I don't know. Maybe you're, I don't know, whatever. This is from start to finish just something that I couldn't even randomize on like an AI generator. This is too much. She looks kind of normal, I guess. Probably plays Baccarat. And then literal like 10-year-old person who doesn't know why she's here. Cool.
Has only further alienated people. They were recently enraged for like 2 weeks about a jeans commercial, for Christ's sake. They were mad because the woman in the jeans commercial had a German Shepherd dog. Ergo, Nazism. It's kind of weird that liberals are all so depressed because they seem like mentally they're having a great old time. They're not even tethered to reality. That has to be so fun. So with all of this in mind, I think this is partially what culminated in Trump winning in 2024. Democrats have lost their ever-loving minds and as a result have completely abandoned everyday normal people and have instead embraced radicalism. And recently, it's only been downhill for the left and its many acolytes. Recent reporting has shown Democrats as a party are losing millions of registered voters, while Republicans have had a net gain of 4.5 million voters over the last few years. This includes Nevada flipping to a GOP majority registration for the first time in 20 years. Just recently, I saw that a highly contentious governor race in New Jersey is tied, which is super important. And if you live in New Jersey, you've got to get out and vote in November. Mark the date. Early voting starts in October if that suits you better.
This is interesting for sure.
So this is why you see people like Gavin Newsom, Jasmine Crockett.
I have to fart. Silent but deadly.
AOC, all being very, very desperate on social media, trying to get the support back to the Democrats. But the bottom line is, it's too late. And until the Democrat Party really just restructures and gets rid of everybody in the party and gets rid of their woke agenda and woke policies that they want to put into place, this will not change.
Like, literally the reason Kanye West made a song called Heil Hitler and people play it in their cars is because of shit like that.
A CNN senior analyst recently sounded the alarm, saying that Democrats needed to fix something, as Republicans have big leads on the issues of crime, the economy, and immigration.
The issue of crime, the issue of crime being that it shouldn't happen. Yeah, it's like when more crime happens, the people who think it should not happen decide to make their voice heard.
Especially among independents, who he says win the day for either side.
The GOP is more trusted than the Dems on the economy. It was 12 points in 2022. Slight decline in that lead, but still 7 points. How about immigration? It was Republicans by 3 back in 2022. Look at this. The Republican lead's actually gone up by 10 points. What are you doing, Democrats? My goodness gracious. And on crime, the Republicans were up by 13, and now they're up by 22. The lead,
I'm loving the lines and the circles here.
again, expanding by nearly double digits. So whatever Democrats are doing, it ain't working, Kate. It ain't working. Republicans have the lead on all three issues.
And this isn't only a USA thing, although that should come as a surprise to none of you, because weird things are happening over in Europe with a whole bunch of stuff, and I think European people in European countries are starting to get quite cross. Australia and Canada, on the other hand, are... well, we won't talk about those. Around the world, far-right parties. You guys can't see, but I'm doing
let's see this.
I'm doing the little quote marks with my fingers.
Far-right parties?
Because most of these parties are just normal right-wing parties.
Okay.
Are gaining in popularity, which is freaking out the left. Recent Pew Research data shows that Forza Italia, National Rally and Alternative for Germany, Reform UK, and Vox in Spain have all gained in popularity in recent years and also in recent months.
Right.
Now, I personally don't put a ton of stock in polling data because, you know, I think there's obvious reasons why not, but I do think that there has been a sentiment shift all over the place. Even talking with friends of mine who have been historically left-leaning, they're saying some sort of out-of-pocket stuff that I am absolutely not used to from them, and I'm like, what is
You should see Gen Z. I mean, the shit that I'm seeing on my Instagram Reels, it's literally, it is like some reel, like some Are You Noticing reel about like Jewish people. It's some clip of Nick Fuentes. It's some like Hyperborea, Swedish like mythology or Nordic mythology, Agartha sort of thing. It's literally just all like racism and shit like that. It's just memes. And they literally call it the racism app. I mean, these videos have like millions of views. So if they think it's different with Gen Millennial or whatever, it's Gen Z's, it's crazy. Instagram is like literally filled with like far-right propaganda. So yeah, they're in for a rude awakening if they think that it's gonna get less right.
Happening to you? I mean, I like it, but what is going on? Anyway, so the question here becomes, where does this leave us? Honestly, I am not super sure because I am not an oracle, although I would like to be one. The Oracle of Texas. What I will say is that if you are somebody who clicked on this video and you are left-leaning and you're sort of beginning to feel disillusioned with your party and your side of the aisle, I think it's really brave to start to pull away and to embrace being an independent or a moderate or wherever you end up landing on the political spectrum. I will be the first to tell you that I think it takes a lot of courage to basically leave your tribe during such a polarizing time like the one that we live in right now. And I'll go one step further than that when it comes to finding a new tribe or where you think you fit in or whatever. As far as the right goes, and I think this has been my experience and the experience of a lot of people, you don't have to line up on every single issue to be embraced by people on the other side of the aisle. Admittedly, I have always been somewhere on the right and have never left the left, but I do know...
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Like, I remember when I was in high school, I was probably like a libertarian, which is like maybe the cringiest thing in all of politics, where you basically, like, it's the opinion that the government should just not be involved in anything, and that'll be better, which is like, obviously, I think government overreach is bad, but the idea that somehow without the government, we're kind of like better off and with less rules on like, it's like, dude, there are some people who like legitimately think that you should legalize, I think, heroin and have recreational meth dealerships and I don't think that's good. Like a meth dispensary, you walk in there, you shake the guy's hand, you hand him a $20 bill, and you get a meth vape. Like that's what they want. It's a complete joke of a party. If you're a libertarian, you have to grow up a little bit. It's for like Rick and Morty viewers who like think they'll invent portal travel because they smoke too much weed. But anyway, yeah, I never was like a liberal, but I was definitely a lot more left than I am now. And I've gone left on certain issues. Like I definitely think, I have changed my mind a lot of times. I've gone more right on certain things and I've gone more left on certain things. But overall, I mean, like I said earlier, I'm always sort of changing my opinions. Like genuinely, I'd like to think that I challenge myself pretty often.
That I don't fit into any box neatly.
Especially like with what I'm consuming, like with the kind of stuff I'm watching is.
I have all sorts of ideas about all sorts of things that fit into all sorts of different camps, and I think that that's normal. I actually think that.
But I also do think that in general, politics is just not good to consume. Like if you don't have to, which most people, I would argue 90% of people don't have to consume political stuff, then don't, live your life, make a shitload of money, take care of your friends and family, enjoy the world, go see some beautiful statue or mountain and, go to sleep at 8 p.m., wake up the next day, do it all again, smell the coffee, get a nice coffee maker, all that sort of stuff, I just so happen to make my money doing this, so I get to, change my mind and challenge my stuff and stuff like that. But eventually when I make enough money, I'm just going to fuck off for sure. And that number is probably somewhere around $10 million. So got a ways to go, but slowly but surely.
Is the place that most...
I'm an independent. That's different than being a libertarian though.
People find themselves in.
Friends and family are way more important than politics, 100%. Like that's not even like up for debate. Like if you're losing friends and family over politics, like we're talking like the difference of opinion of like if rich people should be taxed, you're literally like useless. Like you're stupid as fuck.
And if that is you, that is okay. You do not have to check every single box. You are allowed to have your own thoughts, feelings, and ideas about whatever issue it might be. And if that means that you end up on the right side of things, on the right-wing side of things, that's pretty cool, in my opinion. But the bottom line here, in my opinion, is that the left has really launched itself into the abyss by being militant and unrelatable and actually psychotic on most issues these days.
Yeah, she's totally right. And I get the gist of the video, but if I had to leave you guys with one thing from this whole conversation, it's like I said before, just like if you're young, make a lot of money, you have to get money, you have to be powerful, you have to be self-sufficient, and politics and learning about the world is important, but you have to be focused on your own personal development, right? Like it really is that important. When I wake up, I get to work, I'm thinking about how I can grow my bread, and most of my time is spent thinking about that. And if I diverge from that by spending all this time looking at Twitter or looking at the news, it's a bad habit that I have to stop. So I think you guys should all do that as well. But yeah, good video for sure. Hope you guys enjoyed.